Basketball fans, what is up? And welcome to the All Basketball Podcast, where debates often take place. I'm your host, Maurice Dixon, and this is another episode of Carolina Got Something to Say, basically letting you know our expectations for the 2024-25 college basketball season, with obviously heavy emphasis on the Carolina Tar Heels and the Duke Blue Devils. Um, if you folks didn't get to see, Friday night had a classic game between Carolina and Kansas. Kansas ended up winning by 3, and um, I got Horace and Ian on the show for me right now, but I got to say this right now. I'm tired of losing to Kansas. I looked it up. So the all-time series is 7-6 in favor of Kansas. But they've won 5 straight. And obviously, a few years ago they beat us in the championship game by 3, and then now Carolina and Kansas are doing this home and home series, which started this year, and the next year they'll be in Chapel Hill. And I'm just tired of losing to these guys, man. I mean, when I only remember in 2002 when we beat them. Ian, you might remember. Horace, you might remember. But I just 08, the game when Sasha Khan came out of nowhere, Darrell Arthur. I mean, they had Chalmers. We just didn't see it coming. We had Hansborough Green, Danny Green, Wayne Ellington. Lawson was the point guard. I mean, we had a nice squad, and we got whipped. We got within a point in the second half, and they went on to beat us 84-66. And then ever since then, it's just been like they've been beating us because we obviously just meet in the tournament, and they beat us in 12, 80-67, and they beat us in 13, 70-58. One of those is when Kendall Marshall was out. So, and then obviously a few years ago they beat us, beat Love Davis when they went on to win their that championship, another championship under Bill Self. And I'm just tired of it, man. I mean, and then the other night we're getting whipped in the first half, make a comeback, and then just questionable stuff down the stretch. And I'm gonna hold off on that. But Horace, did you see the game? I know you're not a fan, but
no, I didn't see the game. I knew they were playing, but I actually didn't see it. I ended up seeing the score, but I didn't see the game.
Okay.
Kansas is pretty well seasoned right now. Bill Self set out a couple of games last year at the beginning of the season, so he's probably coming back with vengeance this year. Hunter Dickinson is back.
Yeah.
I think they got a couple of what's the number 24 guy?
KJ Adams.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
And so Kansas is pretty well seasoned, and I think Carolina is probably the youngest that they've been since Hubert took over.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a kind of a different challenge for him. You got RJ, who's the lone older guy, but I mean it's a lot of years and a lot of games between him and the rest of the team.
Yeah, definitely a lot of more so experience. I mean, Withers got some, Trimble has some, but yeah, and definitely the bench. I mean, like all those guys are new as far as I can
Right.
tell. And
And
Ian,
even the transfers, they not used to playing on stages like this. So you got to get them accustomed to playing on the bigger stage.
yeah, and that game definitely was a rarity. But they set it up so it went the way it went. Ian, what you see the game? I'm pretty sure. What's all the highlights?
Yep, I watched that entire game. I had money on that game. Yeah, pretty much. We definitely stood up to the test. I like the fight that they had, especially in the second half. The bench players, the transfers, what's his name? Ian Jackson came in. He kept us going in the first half. James Brown in the second half had a lot of those hustle energy buckets that we needed. Uh, the kid from that transferred in from Georgia Tech, uh, Claude.
He was terrible. He got his junk sent.
Yeah, he got blocked bad in the first half, but in the second half, him and the other kid from Vanderbilt that transferred in, they played better on the boards, and they were able to slow down Dickerson to a point. And even Watkins had some big time threes that he made to help Carolina get the lead. And I think we just needed more shot making from RJ Davis in that game. RJ makes a couple more shots, it's a Carolina win, no problem. But I'm glad they showed fight in Fall Gal and didn't get run out the gym like it looked like it was going to be.
Yeah, definitely. Because the issue I had though was decisions down the stretch. Okay, Withers redeemed himself from last year after he took that bad shot against Alabama, that bad three-point shot. But when Washington took that corner three, dude, you doing what Jalen Withers did last year. You it's not time to shoot like that. And then the final play, if they don't get anything going, I don't know if Hubert Davis could have called timeout, but call timeout. If you can't get the ball to Davis, call timeout and then get Ian Jackson again because he's about 6'6", right?
About 6'4", 6'5". I think him not calling timeout, that's all part of that Roy Williams school of thought. Let him play the last play, play it out. Unfortunately, Cadeau kind of dribbled the ball out for the most part because he was trying to get Davis the ball, and Kansas did a great job of denying Davis the ball. There was one player you didn't want taking that shot is him, and Cadeau he was online, just left it short. Hopefully, he definitely took it hard, missing that shot. So hopefully, the next time he gets that opportunity, he knocks it down.
Yeah, well, I'm looking. I know if we would have won, Kansas would have been tripping because the free throws in that second half, boy, we shot a lot of free throws. You had
Yeah, they shot a lot of free throws, but we took it to the cup a whole lot. Davis and Trimble. They definitely put their head down and said, if we're not getting a layup, we're going to the line.
So maybe a questionable foul call here or there, but most of them were legit, you think?
Yeah, they earned those fouls. Kansas, credit to them. He made a lot of jump shots. Dickerson did a great job in the post, finding guys on the outside. Zeke Mayo had a very good game for them. Dewan Harris, he's a very good defender. He was one that was denying RJ Davis. And KJ Adams, it feels like he gets better and better every season. And ridiculous athlete. He was making a 15-foot jump shot.
Or that floater.
Had a couple floaters that was surprising. He's making himself look like he could be a first-round prospect.
You have to foul. I think they should just started fouling him. He can't shoot free throws. I mean, but
maybe, but you take that chance if he misses, because I think Dickerson went 1 for 2, but I think Kansas as a team, they may have went 13 for 17, something like that.
12 for 17, yeah.
12 for 17.
But mainly, Adams wasn't really a factor in the second half. It was mainly he gave him a boost in the first half. He got the nice dunk, and they just kind of did that thing until we flipped the game. But hey, I know it's one game, it's early. I don't want to sound like I'm overreacting. I was just, like I said at the top, I'm just tired of losing to Kansas, and when it was looking like we got the lead, we might finally get this one. And then for those decisions down the stretch to take place, it's just like, man, come on. Like, we got to stop losing to this team.
Yeah, it definitely stung. It definitely stung. What's my man, the boy that came off the bench? don't want to say the African kid, but one that was basically dunking everything that was coming off the rim.
Oh, but Dunga?
Oh, Florio.
Yeah, Florio.
Okay.
Yeah.
That kid right there. If he gets a semblance of basketball skill, his athleticism makes no sense.
Okay, so who is this? I mean, so Kansas, they seem like they I guess they used the portal because I'm like, this dude Mayo, he kind of shot the lights out. So they got some
Yeah, he came from South Dakota State. South Dakota State. He was their player of the year.
Okay.
For that.
Now I know Henry, you coming in. I'm just telling these guys how I'm tired of losing to Kansas, man. I mean that's 5 straight, man. I mean, I know it's just early in the season. Yeah, the all-time record is 7-6 in favor of Kansas. But
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, since we had been meeting only in the tournament, I'm just tired of losing to these dudes, man. They get to the point where like almost like I hate you and Horace's squad. Like if either I need them to get the job done, beat y'all, or lose to us. I mean, this.
Well, if y'all done lost 5 straight, that means y'all beating 5 straight if y'all 7-6. So
no,
they were tired of losing to y'all too.
No, they beat us 4 straight because remember the last time before that Roy when he went to the championship game against who Kansas played that year in 90? Oh, they played Duke. They played Duke when Grant Hill caught the alley. I think that was it. Adonis Jordan, DeClerc.
Yeah, that was in 91.
91, yeah. So that was the last time before that. So then they had like I said, the 2002 team beat Kansas. I think that was Drew Gooden. Who was on camera? That wasn't Forte. I have to look that up. 2002.
No, that wasn't Drew Gooden. 2002, the Carolina squad was a freshman, Rashad McCants, Ray Felton, and Sean Pay. And that was in the preseason NIT.
Oh.
So that might have been like Kirk Heinrich and
Jeff Boschee?
Nick Collison. I think Boschee had already graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Collison and Kirk Heinrich. You know.
Okay. So what's done is done. We'll Carolina try to rebound. I feel like now Kansas and Duke. I feel like Duke kind of has a big game coming up, but Calipari left Kentucky, so I don't even know. I mean, Kentucky's ranked 23rd, but I don't even know who's on the roster, if anybody notable. But Horace, Henry, y'all tell us about your boys.
Aaron, you want to go first?
Oh, okay, sure. So, I like so far. I've watched the last game, and I watched like highlights and stuff of the exhibition games, and I like the effort so far. I'll say that, like the defensive effort, like closing out on the shooters and stuff like that. They seem to play, at least right now. You know, everybody seems to be playing really hard, and I like that. Offensively, so far what I've seen, I like the fact that Knipple has stepped up. So he's so far he's been our best shooter, and he doesn't mind stepping up and taking the role. Even taking a lead role if necessary. So I like that. I like having multiple options. I like the depth, even with some of the transfers, their contributions and stuff like that. Now, we'll see how long that lasts, though, as far as like, I don't know what the rotation is going to be. Will the rotation only be like 7, once we start getting for like in the ACC play or even with Kentucky, and Kansas, I want to see what the rotations will look like as far as the depth, or is he going to stick to like a 7-man rotation? So, but so far, I've liked what I've seen.
Okay.
Now this is Shire, so hopefully he does. Well, I still got to count in the Shire factor. So, but for right now, I'll say right now, I'm liking the effort, the energy on both ends of the court, not just offensive. So,
He's on you, Horace.
All right. Yeah. Shai had decided to go just a little bit older this year with this team to get in a lot of older transfer guys because he figured Cooper Flag will only be there 1 year, so he didn't want to waste Cooper Flag 1 year with a whole bunch of young guys. But Con Kanipa is gonna probably be the sleeper of this class. He has been the best player per what the players have said since day one in Cameron. He has been probably the most consistent and the best player. And defensively, they will be top 3 in the ACC because of the effort that they provide and because they're big guy in the middle. One thing I've noticed, I watched the Lincoln game, I watched the Arizona State game, I watched every game. The ball doesn't stick. They like to share the ball, and one thing that I have noticed as well, even with Duke All Access, is the team gels and they like each other from day one.
Was that an issue last year? Did Horace freeze?
It takes the pressure off the coaches. It takes the pressure off the coaches when everybody likes each other and things of that nature. I mean, you got to understand, everybody coming from different parts of the world and things of that nature. They were the man on their team, and then they got to come together and sacrifice some of their game for one common goal. So the ball is not going to stick. They like to share the ball. They like to get assists and all this other kind of stuff. So I look for the defense to be the identity of this year's team. I'm not expecting Cooper Flag to average 21 points and anything like that, maybe 16. But expect more of a balanced scoring attack. Maybe 6 guys in double figures, but a whole bunch of defensive pressure and intensity.
Okay.
That's what I got.
What you got? Okay, good stuff. What you got on Duke, Ian? All I just see is they beat up some scrubs, so I haven't been able to see them. So,
Man, Duke trash. That's all I got. Kidding. Nah. I agree with everything the guys have said. Knuppel, he's probably the best player on their team, skill-wise. Cooper Flag is going to get all the headlines. For me, the sleeper player on their team is going to be Sion James, a transfer from Tulane, who played high school ball here in Georgia at Lanier High School. He's a 6'6" athlete, can guard anybody on the court, runs the floor great, plays above the rim, and he's going to be that factor, that guy for them when they need a stop. If they give him the ball, let him put his head down and go get a bucket, he can do that. So, I mean, Shire has done a great job of recruiting, bringing in young talent, meshing it with old veteran guys, and it's going to be a fun ACC.
okay, who is this? I think I just seen him dunk the tall guy. Who is? Center?
Malawak.
Oh, that's him. Okay.
Yeah.
Is he one and done?
Yes.
Okay.
You think he's one and done?
Yeah. Just too much pressure to have him stay another year.
Okay.
Just too much pressure. He's already when they was about to sign him and Cooper was they was like, which one should we take, Cooper Flag or Malawak? So yeah, he'll be a one and done kid unless something drastically happens. You know, I would say watch Zach Edey's first year, and then you can pretty much see where this is going to go, what kind of trend it will be. But from all my sources, Flag and Malawak and Con Knipper will not be in Durham next year.
All right, so I got a question for you. How do you think he's comparable to Derek Lively?
Lively is way more athletic. Malawak is probably a better rim defender. And what I mean by that, he's much smarter to not foul and things of that nature. Derek Lively was just very athletic. The Malawak is somebody who can defend and alter shots without fouling, which that was one of the questions on one of our space calls is would Cooper Flag ever have to play the 5 if Malawak gets in foul trouble along with Malik Brown? So that was a question. But, somebody brought it to his attention that Malawak is a very, very smart defender. He knows how to alter shots without fouling. So they kind of put that to rest.
Okay, so I see if Flag he might not grow no more at Duke, but he's just about 6'9" right now, and they got him listed at guard, so he's not even I guess as big as I thought he was. I thought he was, I mean, maybe he is a little bit, but so he's really more of a.
He's 6'9". He's a wing player.
He a wing. Okay.
Yeah, he's a wing.
Yeah, we're just really tall. I think the shortest starter is 6'5".
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, everybody's 6'5", 6'6", and above. The whole team.
Go. Who's running the point?
Proctor, right?
Proctor running the point, but Foster is getting a lot of point guard action just for the ability to showcase his point guard skills in case he decides to want to put his foot in the NBA.
So I guess these guys. Okay, so Foster was there last year, right? He transferred in.
No, he was there last year. Yeah, he got hurt at the end of the season, so he didn't make the tournament.
Okay, so Mitchell got pushed out, and who was the other guy who was like an inside player? Did he get pushed out too?
Sean Stewart, T.J. Powers, and the guy Mark Mitchell.
They all okay because I see Mitchell was at Missouri. I saw him on the commercial. I'm like, that dude look familiar. I'm like, oh, that's Mark Mitchell.
Yeah,
Wow.
he never hit an open jump shot. And they left him open on purpose.
Yeah, he was strictly defense. I mean, I don't know the big guy you say. I mean, because it's so crazy how lively he was. I mean, Henry, you said it yourself, he's looking like a bust. I mean, he was kind of bad at Duke. Like then towards the end of the year, you kind of, I guess, get that experience in. He kind of maybe the game slowed down a little bit for him, but he's been it's just crazy to see him much better as a pro. Now, if he would have come back, he would have been good. But it's kind of surprising to see that he started out so bad. Well, if I don't know if maybe the talent around him wasn't.
And it could have been how he was used.
Yeah, I mean, it is the ACC. You know, anybody who's playing at Duke or Carolina, man, let's be real. It's going to take some adjustment to play on those stages. And like Henry said, the way that he was used and things of that nature, you know, he was. They wanted him to be a defensive guy. You know, in high school, he was number one because he would be able to pull out and shoot and things of that nature. When you go to Duke and Carolina, you may not be able to do the things that you were doing in high school. You're going to have to suck some of that up and do some other things that the colleges want you to do.
Yeah, because I see he's not trying to go that, but I see now that he's they're trying to get him to shoot a little more, shoot from the corner, from three, if just as an option when he's in the game with Dallas, and obviously just rim protecting Luke and Kyrie, and Luke gonna throw it up, so him and Gafford gonna throw it down. So
yeah,
anytime you play off that screen and roll. So it's kind of interesting to see how he's kind of shot up, maybe even past some dudes in other Duke players in the league. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. So I see Alabama's 2. I know they got Mark Sears coming back. I know they got Youngblood transferred in. He played at Kennesaw State. Where did he play last year? He played but I mean they ranked number 2, so I mean I assume they're pretty legit. I guess that guy Nelson came back. I need to look at the roster, but anybody got I had eyes on them or know much about them so far?
No, I don't really pay attention to the rankings at the beginning of the season. Got to give us some games to play and let things take out a little bit. But
Not I.
Yeah, they I guess they had some guys come back. I guess the main interesting thing about the SEC is how Arkansas and Kentucky, will that flip? You guys think that will flip, or is Calipari kind of? I know he got Wagner, who wasn't that impressive, but he got him to go to Arkansas with him. Maybe some other guys went too. I'm not sure.
Well, Calipari's biggest thing is so
Big.
Flag with him. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, go. You said his biggest thing, then you kind of cut out.
Oh yeah, I said what's his name? He took the recruits with him. So your normal Kentucky recruits like a Boogie Flag, he went to Arkansas. Well, a couple other guys flipped and went to Arkansas, and they got some transfers that came in and followed Calipari.
Okay. But so
Kentucky right now, Kentucky's just a team full of transfers.
Oh, so do we use the portal well?
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess unless you just follow them or that's your team closely, it's not tough to get college basketball information, but you just have to, I guess, kind of dig for it. They don't have the storylines, you don't know the names of people sometimes, so it's just like you kind of have to just wait till you see them. I saw a look Gonzaga today. They look pretty good. I know we all saw that Mark Few's son get dunked on by the Baylor.
yeah,
when nepotism goes wrong.
Well, that just wasn't fair because that kid Edgecombe, he played for Team Bahamas and he was the number 4 incoming recruit. So the fact that he was still in the game, they down by 30. He was just looking to embarrass somebody and have to be the coach's son. Got to be more careful.
Guys too. Ian, I know you're up on who are some other guys we should keep an eye out for this season? Possible one and done to just impressive guys. I mean, I don't dig too deep in, and I didn't get to see much of the high school game around here as I usually do. So
you got 2 kids out in Rutgers. One kid, Dylan Harper. That's Ron Harper's son.
Oh. And Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey also. Those are basically, those guys are gonna be top 5 easily with Cooper Flag going potentially number 1. Like I said, BJ Edgecombe, he's got high potential to be top 5 himself. The guys with Duke, Canoodle, and the big man, you can toss them in there now because they're gonna make plays and whatnot. It's sad to say, in past years I would have said Hunter Dickerson, but unfortunately he's got the Armando Bacot syndrome where we've looked at him too long. We've seen all the awards and we're just gonna be like, yeah, that's nice for college. NBA, yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The big man gets no love in the NBA unless you're shooting threes.
Right. Okay, so if this guy Ace Bailey, I did see something where they said take him over Flag. Are y'all buying that? Or have y'all seen enough of Ace Bailey? Or he played it. I seen him at he played at McEachern last year. I seen him. Okay.
That is correct.
Okay. I saw a clip or two. Okay. So, I mean,
Yeah,
is it?
I think it
Go
depends.
ahead.
I guess how the season goes. He may go, ahead of a flag. The season and then the tournament. Players get hot in the tournament. People, scouts are really paying attention to that. What a player may do. So, yeah, I don't see flag being a lot for number one right now. I know it sounds good and everything, and it makes for good, you know.
So you discount
Media.
what he did against Team USA?
No, I'm just saying, like, typically, how, like, a lot of times they say, okay, this guy's going to be the top pick or whatever. But then once the season plays out, then things can change, and so that person may fall down to like 3 or 4 or 5, and it also depends on the need of the team as well. So depending on all that, then he may not go, number one.
Yeah, because the good thing is you just can't, even if you tank, you still don't get great odds to get the number one pick. So these teams, Brooklyn, Utah, Washington, it's one other bad team out there. There's a bunch of them in the East. Charlotte. I mean, yeah, you can lose, but that don't mean you getting a certain guy. I mean, Detroit could be bad again, but I mean, at some point it's like, well, maybe you take the best player, but in that case, Detroit, even if you got a bunch of young players, maybe you just take Flag, Bailey. I don't know who else could trump them, but if you think, because even if you got a bunch of young talent, but it's not just so easy to just be the worst team and get guaranteed almost a number one pick.
Funny scenario. What if Boston traded somebody to get Cooper Flag?
Well, you talking about, I mean, you probably have to give up. If they're not going to give up Tatum, you have to give up Brown.
Yeah, I don't see them giving up either one of those guys. I think it would have to be some picks or, but yeah, Tatum and Brown, I don't see them giving them up.
Because if this guy's going to be the real deal, I think at some point, if not right away, the NBA is going to want him in a noticeable market. I mean, now things kind of different. That doesn't hold as much weight, but if we can get a white American player who's, I mean, almost extinct. I mean, you have a bunch of international guys who are of the Caucasian color, but I mean, none of them are white. I mean,
there's only two markets for him that fit that: Boston and Utah.
And you don't want him in Utah.
So if you trade and get him to Boston, you basically got Caitlin Clark 2.0 right there.
Yeah, but I don't even think Boston is in the running. In what? Indiana?
Say they don't have any more of those Brooklyn picks.
Who?
Say Boston doesn't have any more of those Brooklyn picks from way back when.
No, I think that's what got him Tatum. So now they just Brooklyn has a lot of picks. OKC and I don't know.
Okay, not new scenario. OKC get the number one pick. You have him down there with Chet and Shea.
Yeah, I mean I mean, probably why not? I mean, Jalen Williams probably becomes expendable, but do you kind of mess that up though? You might. They got a good thing going. I mean, he might not be ready to run right away.
That's cool. They got rid of Josh Giddey with no problems. They still rolling.
Right. couldn't
Yeah,
shoot.
they did.
Couldn't shoot. Let's get rid of the overlap. So yeah, so I mean Tuesday night, like we said, Duke at home against Kentucky, maybe a better test. Kansas, Michigan State, I guess that could be a test. And Carolina has they actually have Alabama coming up at home, but I think the schedule's a little lighter before then. So we'll see how all those things pan out in the ACC. And another thing I want to get to was the it's kind of an NBA angle, but it's pertaining to Carolina and Duke, and that was the fact that just me thinking and being a Carolina fan, like, wow, how is it? It's so crazy now that Carolina players are pretty much insignificant in the league, and Duke players are real significant. And I looked at Real GM. Anybody want to take a guess? How many? I'll just say how many players who wore a Carolina jersey are currently in the league?
6.
Anybody else?
No.
Ian was real close. There's 7. And the funny thing is, he's almost right because Kessler, he transferred to Auburn, so he didn't leave Carolina and go to the NBA. But then you got like Cam Johnson transferring in for a year. But Kobe White, Cam Johnson, Harrison Barnes, the lone veteran, Kessler, Cole Anthony, Harrison Ingram, and Day'Ron Sharpe. So, and then when you look at Duke, I mean the list is long. I mean, but
it's either 24 or 25.
Yeah, do they have a count here?
24, 25.
23. You're right. You won over 23. And I mean, you're talking about Tatum, Banchero, Kyrie Irving, Barrett, Zion, Ingram, Jalen Johnson, Lively, Luke Kennard, Grayson Allen. I mean, just the list.
The Jones boys.
You said what?
The Jones boys. Tight.
Oh yeah. And Trey Jones.
Yeah.
And you got some insignificant guys up in there, but I mean, have been watching Carolina basketball for since I was 10, 11, 12. I'm 44 now. I mean, to see where it's gone from when it was, you knew Jordan, you knew Worthy, even people like Sam Perkins, to Antoine Jameson, Vince Carter. I mean, I'm leaving a few guys out, but I'm talking about impactful players. Like, it is totally flipped. Like, we are insignificant as far as the NBA. And I know I text you guys that question, but we're gonna put it out there for people to know somewhat of what I'm writing up. But what happened? What do you think? What do you think happened, Horace?
Well, without making this a statement and not to be disrespectful, I would just say it's simply the brotherhood. You have like Coach K's coaching tree is so big, and then you got Duke executive tree where you have Dunleavy, Grant Hill, Elton Brand all in executive order. So you have connections all over, whether it be in college, Greg Hollis has a job at Niagara. I mean, who would have ever thought that? So the brotherhood is deep and it's thick. So I think when the brotherhood is on, it makes for a whole lot of jobs, makes for a whole lot of positions, and everything. So I think it's merely the brotherhood that has this thing going like it's going. I mean, how did you think Emil Jefferson went from coaching on the bench in Durham to a full-time assistant at Boston? Maybe this is a fun fact, but the owner for the Celtics' son was a walk-on at Duke. So again, the brotherhood. So I mean, I just think that the brotherhood is stronger than ever, and that's why you can probably look and see the significant difference between just these two schools alone in itself.
Okay. What you got on it, Henry?
Well, I think part of it has to do with preparation for the NBA. You know, we started getting the talent, and so, you know, Coach K would, you know, encourage those guys to step up to exhibit all their talent, you know, and not necessarily try to just fit into a particular college system, you know. And because of that, a lot of those guys, they, you know, were prepared, you know, for the NBA. You know? And so they came to Duke knowing that, okay, this is a place that's, you know, will prepare me in a year's time, you know. And so this isn't a long-term thing, and they knew that. And like Coach K was willing to sacrifice, you know, some possible, I'm sure, probably championships or whatever. But as a result, now you have all these players in the league, you know, because, you know, if you, you know, now if you come to Duke, you're a high recruit, and you come back your second year, it's like, what happened? You know, you back, like, man, things didn't go too well, you know, for you. Or you either have to try to go or transfer out because you know somebody else is coming in that's pretty much probably a freshman that's going to take your spot. So that's another high recruit. But it's just preparation. And I think that Roy got to Carolina, and he focused on, okay, you know, I want these guys here, you know, and it's going to make the team better. If I can get you here for 4 years, that's what I want, you know. And it's great security. It was great security for him. But in the end, it didn't prepare the guys for how the NBA changed. So you end up having great college players and great players who fit within the Carolina system. But when they got to the NBA, you know, that shift happened. You know, the shift in how things changed and how the game was played in the NBA. They weren't really prepared for that. I'm sure some of the guys, they had that in high school, but then once they got to the NBA, you know, to Carolina, things changed, and you know how they had to fit into that system. And I think that it's carried on, you know, with the current coach as well. So,
yeah. Okay, Ian, what you think? Since you a Carolina fan, so but as far as how it flipped.
I'm calling poppycock on everything that Henry just said. It's more about the connection, because the greatest trick that Coach K pulled was saying that he was anti one and done, but then turn around and coaching Team USA, and that's when he started getting the one and dones more consistently, like the Kyries, like the Jabari Parkers, like that full-on class with Okafor and Justice Winslow and Tyus Jones. That's when he started embracing the one and done more and more, and that trend has just kind of continued ever since then. Roy before that was getting the better players, you know, the Ty Lawsons and the Danny Greens and Tyler Hansboroughs, and though those guys maybe stayed more than 1 year, they were all prepared to go to the league. In recent years now, it's become such a one and done filled game. They know that Coach K has had to connect for Team USA, so I know if I go play for Coach K, there's a great chance I'm gonna be one and done and be out of there. Hell, if you look at the Bancaro team, the very last team that Coach K had, Paulo's the only one and done, and I think Mark Williams was the only other player from the league off that team. You know, nobody knows where DJ Stewart ended up. He didn't end up anywhere.
What was his name? Keels and
yeah, nobody asked where Trevor Keels is.
Busted out.
You know, so you had a lot of guys. It's just like any other program. We're just focused on the guys that you knew were going to the NBA regardless. They could have went to Alaska for all we care, and they were going to the league. But they knew that Coach K had the connection to get you there no matter what. And to me, Bancaro is a better pro player than NBA player, but he was still stuck in the Duke system. You know, there's really in the history of Duke players, there's only been 2 players that busted that didn't have to deal with the Duke system, and that was Kyrie and Grant Hill. Everybody else was could have been a square peg going to a round hole, but you had to deal with that system no matter what. And some guys were just good enough to not have to deal with it.
Okay, so you were finished? Okay.
Yeah.
So as Horace and Henry, so y'all sacrificed so that they changed things up. Coach K wanted to get these I mean, was he having issues getting the best talent, or did he just want to beat prove he could do what Calipari did, or something else? Because when you really add it up, him and Calipari with this system both just got 1. and the team that Coach K won it with, those were Okafor's not in the league. Winslow, I don't think, is in the league no more. You got Grayson Allen and Jones, but to put it, those were his weakest one and done guys that he won with. So, and it wasn't his best coaching job. I think his best coaching job was 10 with Singler and Shire and Zubek. That team definitely, my God, they overachieved.
Well, I think it's, number one, it's extremely hard to, especially in basketball, to get a bunch of talented players to be on the same page, without to put aside their own, dreams and, aspirations, put that aside to, okay, everybody, let's be on the same page. And when you're talking about multiple top 10 recruits, people who are projected to go to the NBA, that's tough. We see it in the NBA all the time. The big threes, that looks good on paper, big fours and stuff, but most of the time, it's just those players don't be gelling, because of, that top talent it's a lot of times it just don't work out. So, Coach K had a real tough job, trying to make all those guys gel together. And it's because they're all looking to go to the NBA, and so I think a lot of times, of course, it's not always going to work out, but I think it's just.
So was it? Do you think it was pressure from the alumni? I mean, because if you I'm kind of fine with what Carolina did. I mean, yeah, we sacrificing pros right now. We're kind of insignificant, but I mean, Roy Williams got us 3, and if we would have got the one in 16, I don't think he would have got the one in 17. But the team was so hungry they came back. But I don't see the benefit of, you want to get the best players you can, but if it's not producing championships, I mean, what is the school going for? Do they want to have recognition in the league, or do they want? I'm pretty sure they want championships. And
Yeah, they want championships, but remember also these players can get back. So they go out to the NBA and, making millions of dollars, and they get back to the school. So coaches think about that too. I'm sure they think about that in college football. Look at Alabama, all the NFL players they have and I'm sure a good amount of those players, or at least some, are giving back. That's big, because they're making millions of dollars, and so that's helping out the university. So I think that plays into it.
But the university, they got so much money just from TV deals. I mean, how much? I mean, obviously more money is great, but
yeah, more money is great. More money, great.
But if you're not winning championships, I mean, UConn they just went back to back. First time since y'all did it.
Yeah, but Duke is a private institution. They don't get public funded money. So, like UConn, they get public funded money. Okay. That's a big difference.
So, Horace, would you prefer this trend keep going, or would you not? I think we're kind of clear that when you build up a program, you can kind of have more success than just the one and done. Like, so would you prefer it go the other way, or you fine with it going this way?
I think you have to figure out your best balancing act. You got to recruit guys who are going to stay at least 2 years as well. You got to stay. You got to balance it out. I think that's the whole trick to it, is that some guys are going to be talented enough to go one and done. There are going to be some guys that it has to come back and stay 2 or 3 years so you can have that leadership above. But now that the transfer portal is in play, then you don't have to recruit that way. You can just rely on the transfer portal for your older guys who've been proven. So I think that in this case, judging from what Shire has done so far and going older, and believe me, he has pressure on him to try to win with all the talent that he's been recruiting. So he's saying that he's going to not have as many big classes coming in and use the transfer portal. So I would like to see in the next couple of years how this thing work out, this philosophy work out. And then I would say then I have a better answer for you. But for right now, I'm in the wait and see mode just to see how this philosophy will pan out. The greatest thing that he actually did when he got the job is to hire Jay Lucas, who was, besides him, the next best recruiter in the nation. So I think that now they're going to the transfer portal to solidify the leadership and the maturity of the team balance. Because for years, Coach K would keep, you would have, by the time you was a junior, that's your breakout year. You mean, there's been stories about J.J. Redick thought about transferring, Nolan Smith thought about transferring way before they got even to their junior year. So, but for some reason, they stayed around and they stuck it out. And that's what Coach K was used to, having those older guys in there to help out with the younger guys. So, but now that the landscape has changed, let's see what Shire does with this transfer portal as well. And then you got to re-recruit the guys that's already on the team. See, that's the whole other thing. That's what got Nick Saban out of Alabama. They call it the retention recruiting.
Because of the transfer in the NIL, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's a tough order right now. It's a tough, and it probably what got K up out of there as well. It's tough. It's tough sledding right now, but the only thing that's going to satisfy the Duke faithful is hanging them banners up while we're going through this whole change as well.
Yeah, because y'all was it 9-year drought? If I'm 2015, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to make it a whole decade.
10-year anniversary. 10-year anniversary coming up in March.
But it is good to be able to, see those players continue on playing, like where, you saw them in college at Duke, maybe for a year or so, but to be able to continue to see them play and develop in the NBA, that's great, instead of like, where is he at now, type of thing. You're able to, watch their careers and things. So, that's cool.
Because I mean, it's pretty much y'all in Kentucky, probably with the most players in, right?
Yeah. In the NBA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just got a mixture. Y'all got a mixture of stars, role players. It just everything. We started that thing out, man. I mean, it was loads of Carolina players in the NBA. I mean, and now it's just holding on. I mean, and maybe this guy Jackson, maybe he's one of the ones who pops, or somebody else on the roster. But I mean, y'all got that held down right now. It's just but do y'all think that the NIL, the way it's going up, could that keep some guys an extra year? That's a no.
I'm not sure. I mean, well, not for the, of course, not for the top draft picks. I would say that those who are considered, to be first round picks, lottery picks, that's not enough. To keep them around. They're looking at endorsements and, basically way more money, in the NBA, being a top pick, then coming back for your second or third year. So I guess it depends on the the draft status of the player.
Just who y'all oldest player right now? Proctor? And I mean, he had some promise. I mean, is he? He's a senior, right? Let me check. Oh, he's just a junior.
Yeah, Proctor's a junior, and he came over from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
But he was already young, so yeah, he's a junior.
So I mean, because he was projected to be a one and done, right?
Yeah.
He was. Yeah. So I don't know, man. Y'all got it. Y'all got a lot of pressure this year. I mean, it's definitely Final Four bust, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there's pressure there, but
there's definitely pressure.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, hey, they started us out at number 7, so I guess they didn't think that we were like number 1 anyway. Expected to win it all. So, but there is still pressure, from, like you said, the Duke faithful. There's still pressure to get at least, like you said, to a Final Four.
Yeah. And that's always tough. I mean, it comes down to guard play. I mean, from what y'all telling me, what I kind of know, they definitely have the talent. So it's just it's gonna come down to the adjustments of Shire or guys not being who they're supposed to be. So we'll see if y'all be ready to blame Shire. I mean, I guess I should be blaming Hubert Davis for not getting them guys to call the timeout and getting the right people in the game so we can get a better shot. But put Ian Jackson back in for Trimble or somebody, man. I mean, it was just like, dude, okay, he dribbling. This is not the shot, man. We got time. We had timeouts, but like I said, man, it was just one game, but I'm just so fed up with losing to Kansas, man. I mean, just
Yeah, I didn't know it was that many times, but yeah, when you count in the tournament, then okay.
yeah, because we're not really meeting unless it's some kind of showcase or the tournament. But next year they'll be coming to Chapel Hill same time of the year, so it's gonna be early. An early test. I see y'all got Arizona again too, but y'all got to go out there. So I guess y'all got the same deal. I think Caleb Love's still on that team, but I don't know much about who else is on that team.
Yeah, we do got Arizona. We got Kansas and Kentucky. So it's a tough
and Auburn.
And Auburn. So it's a tough month that we have.
Auburn's good.
They're ranked, I believe so.
They're ranked. Okay. Yeah, they were pretty good last year, right? Yeah, they were.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is it's a tough month for us.
Is Kansas neutral or is it one place or the other? Seems like neutral.
Yeah, it's neutral.
Neutral, yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm about to say I doubt that one on the road or in Durham. But yeah, man, we're gonna see how it all plays out. Just hope everybody stays healthy and see how this next college basketball season plays out, and then y'all will be welcoming the Boozer twins next year, right?
Yep, along with Shelton Henderson and Nick. I can't even pronounce his name. Nick Amari or whatever. And being in the springtime, be on the lookout for Nate Ament to commit to Duke.
What position he play?
6'9" wing guy.
Okay. Wow. So we're just reloading in Durham. But yeah.
Don't worry, we still play y'all twice a year.
Right. We'll be ready to humble y'all in the dome.
Yeah.
We're ready. We'll be ready to humble y'all. But it's been good stuff, man. Y'all gave me some good insight. Definitely educated me on some things I didn't know about old Duke, but we're gonna see how it pans out, man. So just keep our eyes out. But I appreciate y'all for coming on, man, talking with me.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
No problem. So yeah, man. We'll catch y'all next time. We'll see what else brews, and when you be sending a text from me, see if you can get on and do it again.
Yeah, and for the record, we don't blame Shia. Shia puts the pressure on himself, and just like being a parent, if your kid act up, who's responsible for their behavior?
The parent.
Yeah, so I mean, he's the parent right now, so. Do what you got to do. You took the job with knowing the pressure and knowing the kind of shoes you had to fill. When that pressure get hot, don't. I need you to continue this tradition of winning.
Yeah, because who are his assistants?
Carrell, Jay Lucas. A guy from Oklahoma, Edley or somebody like that.
Okay.
And William Avery is on the staff now as well.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dave Robinson's son is he's on the staff too. He's not an assistant coach, but he's on I think he's a player director or something like that.
Okay, who is he?
David Robinson's son.
Oh, David Robinson. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Admiral.
Yeah, that one son played football, the other son played basketball.
Okay, that's right. Okay. All right, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, thanks for having us again.
Yeah, right, no problem. Good seeing y'all as well too.
All right, man. Until next time, go Duke.
All right, go Duke. That's right.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas.
All right.
All right. Well, folks, they said go Duke, but obviously it's always for the Carolina Blue during this podcast. So, but you heard it. Big season along the way. Exciting college basketball season. Duke and Carolina don't meet for a while. Obviously not until February, so a lot of games to fill in between them, but we'll see how it pans out. But definitely appreciate Ian for coming on as well. Ian, Henri, and Horace. On behalf of us, thanks for watching the episode. This episode of the All Basketball Podcast, specifically catered to or coined Carolina Got Something to Say, focusing on college basketball. If you haven't already, please subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, wherever you get podcasts, or also you can Google the All Basketball Podcast. Put in the search option on YouTube, you can find the All Basketball Podcast as well. And until next time, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon. Peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.